Hey guys, welcome to our SoulFam Podcast, where I interview space holders from all over the world. I'm your host. My name is Karolina, and I am the connection catalyst. I help spiritual entrepreneurs experience deeper connection with themselves, with others, and with the whole universe. Today on the show, we have Petia Kolibova, the Abundance Activator. Welcome to the show, Petia. How are you doing?
Karolina, like, how could anyone around you do bad? Like, just listening to you, I am so in love with life and I have such a high energy just by like watching you, witnessing you, being in your presence. I'm doing amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I actually love my life so much. So I'm glad that I can spread this love to everyone who listens and to you. And I'm also really excited about our conversation because I love talking about abundance and manifestation. And, the new program I'm working on, the new workshop is Master Manifestation Method. So I'm just really excited to talk to you specifically because you're the abundance activator. So let's activate some abundance for us today. But I would love to start with a little bit of your story at first. Like, how did you get to choose the abundance activator as your identity, let's say, and how was your evolution path? Like, when did you start and when did you decide to have your own business? Was it always in your mind or was it not? I'm really curious about all that.
All of that. So I will do my best to remember all of the questions. If not, you can just go back. And it's so very interesting because you ask me, like, how did I choose this path? How did I choose to do what I do now? And I deeply believe that it chose me. Like, I never intended to be entrepreneur. Like, I grew up in a very small town in very small country that's where my unpronounceable name is coming from. I think you're the only one who can pronounce it, coming from Czech Republic. I saw a lot of scarcity, and it's not a poverty. I didn't grow up in poverty. It wasn't like we didn't have money for food and things like that, which other people might be experiencing. The scarcity was there for like scarcity of energy and time, and like really prioritizing what matters, like being together and like the fulfillment in life. It was always about comparing one to another, and who has a bigger house, who has a better car, who has a better partner. And there was so much competition that it always made you feel like less than, not enough. And I personally never felt like I belong. I never felt like I belong into there because I didn't want to go to school, go to work, get married, get pregnant, have 2.5 kids, drinking every night, getting drunk because you hate your life. Like, that's what I saw, in my family, in my friends, and the people around me. And I'm like, this is really silly. Is this why we really came here for? To like work really hard and then getting drunk because you hate what you're doing anyway, and just like not enjoying life. I was thinking that's like so silly, right? And when I was 20, I, left Czech Republic. I moved to London, then I moved to Spain, then I moved to United States. I feel like my whole life I was running from toxic relationships. First time when I ran away from home, it was 18 because my stepfather beat me up. So it's just my whole life was running away. So I feel like it was for me just the following the breadcrumbs, to have the deeper knowing that there must be more in life, because it doesn't make sense if it doesn't, right? And so like putting myself out from the matrix, putting myself out from what everybody else was doing. And it's very interesting because I feel like my whole life I felt different and not understood. And finally, just like maybe a year ago, I'm like, oh my God, that's my biggest gift. I was always thinking there's something wrong with me because I'm different. And because it's so beautiful, Carolina, you were explaining about like how amazing it's life in Costa Rica and how every day there is a community event. And I was always thinking there's something wrong with me because I don't feel like I want to be in community. I built communities and I built like, I do retreats, I do live events, but I don't search for it, like I build it, but I don't need the everyday connection to a group of people. I love being alone. I love cuddling my husband or my dog, or be alone in nature with no technology. Like, I just love that. Like, I am the happiest when I am around water. But honestly, when we can embrace who we are, when we can embrace what makes us different, that's when we really start thriving. So on my journey, I became the one that I needed. I needed someone who will give me hope, someone who will be nurturing and loving and sensitive, because I had in the past some coaches who were like, get stuff done and do this and do that and million of worksheets and just strategies, and I didn't feel anything. And I don't want that. I want people to feel safe to feel, because the feeling is the key. The feeling is the foundation to abundance. So if you're blocking yourself out from feeling and not feeling safe in your body, not feeling safe from feeling, well, that it's going to be preventing you from expanding into like big abundance. And that's what I'm noticing in my clients. Women come to me, a lot of women who come to me are visionaries, healers, coaches, mentors. They know they're meant for more and they want to be helping others, and they just don't feel worthy and deserving, and they think they have to be working hard. And when you are spiritual, you cannot make money because, like, who would pay you a lot? And I love proving them wrong. I love proving them wrong. I love showing them how you can be unapologetically abundant, how you can be fully you and be paid, abundantly. That's what I've created in my business. That's what I'm showing my clients, because, I was sharing with you, I have a client who now lives in Costa Rica, but she was living in the United States before, and she was making, like, in her business, she has a spiritual business, like a few $100s a month. And when we started working together, she was like, oh my God, Petia, like, you're a godsend. You're such a answered prayer. And I'm just afraid, like, how will I pay you? Like, I'm like, no. That's not a worry of mine. Like, you start working with me, the abundance come. And imagine, Karolina, even before our first call, we were just connected. She paid and she signed up for working with me. And we were just talking on Voxer, which is just walkie-talkie app. Even before our first call, she made $5,000. Even before our coaching call, because there is this power when you declare and say, I'm worthy, I'm deserving, I trust, I have faith, I will do whatever it takes. It happens for you. So I became Abundance Activator because it chose me. And I started to notice that when people are around me, when they work with me, their abundance get multiplied. And it's not just the money. The money, it's fun and it's freedom and it's comfort, but it's abundance on all of the areas, because I care on so many different levels: their health, their relationships, their family, how they're expressing themselves, the freedom. That all to me is abundance. Many of my clients are moving from United States somewhere else. I have clients living in Tulum now. 2 of my clients moved to Tulum. Some of them went to Costa Rica. I have a client who moved to Nicaragua. She will be building her retreat center there. She's building her house now there. So it's just being activated and being supported and seen and loved for who you really are. It just builds a different kind of life for you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing all that. I feel like we have very similar stories because we have very similar history as well, because I'm Polish, and I feel like this, as you mentioned, this like lack mentality is so ingrained in our psyche, because like there was not enough. And I was actually working on some maybe ancestral traumas the other day, like where I was releasing fear of like, there's never enough. Oh my God, there's war. How are we going to survive? Like, all these things from our great grandfathers or whatever, like it's all in our DNA, it's all in our energy field. So in order for us to step up, we actually need to go there and release the fears and working with these feelings. And I really realized that there is a lot of layers for people from countries like us to go through, but it's possible. That's the good news, right? It's possible that we do it when we are more and more aware of ourselves. So that's great that you're the Abundance Activator, and I'm super excited to talk about it to you as well, because I am reshaping how I want to do my business right now, and I've never focused really on Instagram, and now I would like to focus on it more and make it grow. And actually, since yesterday, I had my assistant like post. I was like, the 1st of December, we're starting hardcore, we're gonna post every day, and I'm making stories, and I'm way more active. So it's perfect timing that I get to talk to you right now, because I would love to know, like, what are the most important things to know when you're starting and when you really want to grow and build, because like I feel like I can have such a massive impact on people. Like I've had 7 years of working with plant medicine and meditation and like exploring my inner being, right? So I have a lot to share. there, but I feel like I don't know about the tactics. Like I know that I have skills, I have value, I have, I have deservability, I know that I'm worthy, but skill set when it comes to, or like knowing the algorithms or anything like that technical stuff is not my strong side, or at least not yet. Maybe after the conversation with you it will be. So in my position where, okay, I know that my value, I have some skills, some courses, I know how to help people. How do I start? Like, where do I start? What do I need to know? What do I need to learn, maybe, or what are the most important steps for the start?
I love this question, and the interesting thing is when I started my first business, I had a social media marketing, management company, digital company. So I was helping my clients to build their social media very organically and build their impact and presence online. And I feel like the most important thing is start with, how do you want to live your life? Sometimes we like start the other way around. Like we built our business and then we're like, oh my God, I'm busy, I'm overwhelmed, I'm burnt out, I don't want to really do this. So first start with a vision. How do you really want to like live your life? What is your ideal day looking like? And then you build the business into that, right? So when you know how you want to live, then who do you want to work with? And then I always look on human design with my clients, because there is a big difference if you're specific or non-specific manifester. Because if you're specific, you go into all details, like me, like I write down the all ideal client. If you're non-specific, you gotta be more general to attract your ideal clients and build a business. So I feel like, looking into that, it's really great too, like human design, understanding yourself and understanding how do you manifest in your life. And so if you're non-specific, you're more general. How will you feel when you're building your business? How will your clients feel? What is the vision? And like the more general vision. So first it's like the big picture, right? Like, how do I want to live my life? Then we go closer. My business, how do I want to like lead my business? Who do I want to work with? What do I really want to be doing? Because sometimes we get so stuck on what we should do, we feel we should do, or what we could do. Sometimes we do things we could do. I can do social media. I still teach my clients about social media and how to build a big impact, but now I have a team. So I have a team, like I have a copywriter, assistant, website builders, sales pages builders. I don't want to deal with that stuff. I did it at the beginning of my journey. Now I have assistant team, CEO, like I have a help of all of these things, because what I love is this. I love the one-on-one. I love impacting directly. And then I teach my clients, now what do you want your life to look like? Now you know how your business will feel like. Who do you want to be working with? Then you go even deeper. And around that, when you know who you're speaking to, you know where they are. You know how to speak to them. You know what is the obstacle, what's the benefit, what is the solution, why they should be working with you, what makes you different and unique. Like I said, like I have like things that I was thinking they're like weird about to me, like I'm too caring, I'm too sweet, I'm too nurturing, I'm too good. I like being alone, I love nature. I love dogs more than people. Like there are things you could say are like weird, right? But listen, my clients love that. I used to be ashamed of my accent, because I had some people who are like, I don't understand it. Your grammar sucks. Nobody who is professional will ever work with you. I don't care. My people love me, and my people like love my accent. They love working with me because I'm different. And my husband thinks it's exotic and hot, so I don't care about anybody else, right? But it's like I have to go through that and realize that what do I want my life to look like? What do I want my business to look like? So now I work only 2-3 days a week. That's why I told you today, I don't care how, like that you are a little bit later or sooner or whatever, because I don't work on Fridays. I don't work on Thursdays. I don't work on Saturdays. I don't work on Sundays. I work Monday, Tuesday with my one-on-one clients. And then Wednesday, I usually do my recording, my podcast, my business. I have a team who is managing so many things that I don't have to. So you gotta go really clearly on where your ideal client would be. Again, if you're a non-specific manifester, you can be a little bit more general. If you're a specific manifester, you would look at the specific accounts, who they would be following, who they would be talking to, what clothes they would be wearing, what places they would be traveling, what brands she would love. So you can be, around those brands and things like that. So it's like being really clear, and then be the like give what you want to get. So if you want to get followers, if you want to get engagement, you go and you start. That's how I build my business. That's why I get many of my clients, they're either getting me through the podcast, like finding me and hiring me through podcasts, or my Instagram, because I am there and I'm on my stories and I'm giving value and I am showing what the life is possible. So you got to ask yourself, if you're building your Instagram right now, Karolina, how do you want people to feel when they find you and when they find your Instagram? What is different about you? There are millions of Instagrams, right? A couple of weeks ago, there was a guy who interviewed me in his podcast and was like, when I was doing research and I was looking at your like Instagram, you made me feel so comfortable and warm and I felt so good. And I'm not even your ideal client. He was like, how do the women who work with you must feel? So it's such a great compliment, because that's how I want women to feel. I want them to feel nurtured and inspired and hopeful and loved and like with like possibilities. Because I feel like many women who come to me, they come from place, they work hard, they hustle, and they're tired of that, and they want to slow down and they don't want to feel ashamed and guilty, and they want to be on beach every day. Girl, I lived in Tulum for 14 months and I was on the beach all the time, or just in our backyard, by the pool. So I get it. And you can do that. You can build it. Like, we have multiple 6-figure online business and I'm working 2-3 days a week. And of course, like, I have the flexibility. If I want to do interview on Friday, I will, if I like the person, right? But it's by choice. So, I know this is like very broad, but it's going to be like so important for you to first understand yourself. That's what I always teach my clients. First, you got to understand yourself. You got to look at, you were like healing some ancestral traumas. And it's so important because it's like peeling an onion, right? There's so many layers. There's so many things, Karolina, that I thought that I already worked on. And then it comes again. I was like, what the heck? I thought we were done. And there it is, and I'm like, oh, again? So it's like never-ending journey, but being supported and guided, it's so important. And what made the biggest difference for me was hiring mentors, really. I tried to do it on my own. I read millions of books, listened to podcasts, did online courses. I don't like that. I like one-on-one. And with the one-on-one, it's when I make the biggest difference, the biggest changes. So find the people who inspire you and who are living the life that you want to be living. I don't want to say mistake. It was a beautiful learning experience, but I hired some people just because they were doing the money that I wanted to be doing, but they were not living how I wanted to be living. And then it didn't work out. So surround yourself by people who are living the life you want to be living. Do you want to be most of the time on the beach, working 2 days a week? Do you want to have an impact? Do you want to work only with your soulmate clients? Do you want to be in loving, loyal relationship? Well, then you can work with me. But if you want to be hustling and working 7 days a week, and if you don't care about relationships, and if you don't care about having family, if you don't care about having impact and serving others, I'm not your coach. Find somebody else. I'm very honest about it. I'm so picky who I work with now, Karolina, because when we are starting our business, we're like, oh, I got to pay my bills. I got to work with whoever comes. We are undercharging, undervaluing ourselves. We don't know how to position ourselves and price ourselves. And what I learned along my journey, Karolina, that the more people pay, the more they pay attention, the more impact you're creating in their lives. So clients who are paying me $2,000 per session have much bigger results than the clients who used to pay me $500 per session, So it's, as you grow and evolve, your clients will be evolving and growing with you. I have one-on-one mentors, I have healers, I work with, like many different people. I'm part of 2 masterminds. So I'm investing a lot. Like last year, I invested $70,000 just in my growth. I used to not even make that money a year in a corporate, and now this is just my investment. That's not even my lifestyle or my business. That was just me and my growth. So as I'm growing, my clients will grow with me. So you got to be really honest with yourself. What really turns you on? Because when you're turned on and light up, that's when you become magnetic to other people. And they're like, I don't know what you're doing, but I want to do it with you. I had women who reach out to me. They're like, I heard you on a podcast. I love your energy. I'm not sure like how you can help me, but I want you to help me. And it's beautiful because it's more energetic. So yes, it can be strategies, Karolina, but you can Google and YouTube YouTube it, ask Uncle Google, how to build your business on social media, right? It's cheaper than working with me. When women work with me, it's about energetics, and the strategies are really cherry on the top. Because if you're not energetically aligned with your purpose, if you didn't heal your traumas, if you didn't heal your past, pains, like it doesn't matter what strategy I will give you, you will self-sabotage. And I witness it in some of my clients, and it's so heartbreaking for me when they reach the money, when they leave the job, build a business, and then they just crash because they're like, well, I cannot do this. I cannot hold this. I cannot keep doing this. The money won't come like this month because it came different ways. It's just a self-sabotage, and that's like so painful.
Yeah, I can feel a few parts that have like opposite desires in me, and I feel like it's quite common. So I'm gonna share this because that's like the self-sabotage part. Although I feel like the definition of self-sabotage might be quite different for people, because I believe that we have just different parts of us that have different needs and different desires, different roles, and I just think that different things are the best for us. So then one thing wants to build a business, and then one part of us actually just wants to have fun and enjoy their lives, and that's where I'm at. Like here in Nosara, there's just so much going on, and I just want to be in flow and meditate on the beach and just go dancing and all these things. But I also want to like get things done and build my business and earn a massive amounts of money. So I can feel these two parts of me that want different things, and I feel like I need to combine them, and I need to find the integration between them so that they are both on board, so they are both happy. So what I do, for example, is like I'm doing my morning routine. I go first for a swim and meditate, do yoga, do my supplements and whatever, and then I sit and do work, because then I'm already like filled up with the part of me that just wants to enjoy, right? And then I can get some work done, and then I'm going to the beach again, and then maybe I'm gonna have a session, and then I'm gonna go enjoy my life again. And this kind of like one and the other works for me, but maybe for other people will be like the full day of adventure, then the next day full of work. I don't know, but I feel like it's important to, as you said, know yourself and integrate these opposite parts of us that want different things, really. Because like one part of me wants freedom and just flow and no scheduling and just femininity, and then the other part is like, no, but I actually want to make money and I want to do it myself, and I just want to own it and everything. So that brings me to another question. And also, like, okay, I'm gonna get to that in a moment, but for you it was quite maybe easier with your experience of building social media for people, right? Because you already knew how to do it, so then you just applied the same thing for yourself. But to me, like, I feel like I know how to work on my beliefs because that's my job. I know how to work on my emotions and traumas because that's my job. Like, that's what I do every day, right? So that's not really a problem for me to work through my beliefs. But the strategic part is a little bit like I'm not sure in that, because like I don't know which actually like who can give me good information. Because if you just type it in Google, you have so many people that actually don't really know what they are talking about. Like, and even so many coaches or people come to me for sessions, and they have been in psychotherapy or working with a psychologist for years sometimes, and they have had no results. So it's not like you can trust everyone online, not like you can just find information about how to build your Instagram, because you can just have a lot of shit information, honestly. So I feel like for me it's like this is actually the biggest challenge personally, because like I don't know how to go about it when it comes to more like technical and algorithms and things like that, because I feel like I know my lifestyle. I just want to be on the beach most of my day, as probably most people or I don't know most, but like a lot of people would probably want that too. But so if you could give at least a few tips, maybe like 3 tips when it comes to just the social media stuff, like just to start, what is the most important to think about? If you already know your lifestyle, you know how you want to live, you know who is your ideal client, who's your niche and stuff, like where to start, like how to wrap your mind around it so that you can just go and straight away do things that are important, right? Because sometimes we do a lot of things that are actually unimportant. They're not going to bring us any results, so it's just pointless to do it. So what would be the top 3 tips for people who are starting out and they have no idea about like how to build social media?
And that's a great question, Karolina. I feel like some of the things that I've already mentioned, right? Like knowing who you are, knowing who you want to be working with, knowing where they would be, and connecting those accounts. So, it's important, like really ask yourself, how do you want people to feel when they come to your account? When you come to my account, you know that I'm a spiritual business coach. You can see that. You can see my results. You can see me with my clients. You can see my podcast. You can see who I'm being and the results that I'm creating. So the first and most important thing before anything else, like create your Instagram in a way that is going to attract your clients, your ideal clients. So look into the branding, what colors you want to be using, because again, how do you want them to feel? I want my clients to feel inspired. I want them to feel empowered. I want them to feel hopeful, and I want them to feel like nurtured and held, right? So when you look at my Instagram, that's what you will feel. That's what you will see. You will see what is possible when you work with me, right? Because I'm traveling, because I work with clients, I do retreats, I work 2 days a week. I'm in very loving, loyal relationships. So how do you want those people who find you to feel, right? Because I think Maya Angelou said that it doesn't matter what you do, what you say, what people will remember. It's how you make them feel. So it's about the feeling. So first ask yourself, like, who am I? Who do I want to work with? How do I want them to feel? What are the results they will be walking away with? Because then you will be talking about those challenges, those results, the benefits, and like how you are the solution, right? So when you know how they want to feel, well, then you look at your branding, right? Like I have a branding team that I connect with my clients, because you get to have a consistent colors. If not, like people don't know when they come to your page and it's all colors and it just, if it looks overwhelming, people will like give you 2 seconds and leave. When people come to my page, they feel calm. They want to see more. They want to like look into more. They want to look into the captions, right? So it's really important, like, how do you want to make people feel? Then you work on your branding. When you do that and you have at least like 9 posts, I would say have at least 9 posts, because some people, they have a personal account and they're like, oh, I'm starting business. Should I start the new one? Should I keep the old one? I kept my old one. I kept just one. I turned it into 3 businesses that I had, because I was personal trainer, then social media, then, I'm business, spiritual business, activator, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm changing and my Instagram is changing with me. But when people look, the first grid, it's 9 pictures. So, focusing on that, what is that they will see the first? It's important. Then your profile picture, please don't put something cool and cute. Nobody cares. People want to see your face. People don't connect with logos. People don't connect, like, it can be cool logo, put it on your website. People connect with people. Even on my podcast, like, there is my face. On my personal account, there is my face even closer. People connect with people. They don't care about cool graphics and cool, it's put it on your website, put it on your logos when you're posting quotes. People want to connect with you. They want to see your eyes. They want to see your smile. So have a picture that will really stand out, and not like everything is dark and messy behind you. Something that will stand out, right? So the profile picture, and then also your bio. In your bio, when people look at your bio, like, some people, they love listing everything they have done. I have so many certifications. Like, who the heck cares? Nobody cares. People care about results, not how many. Like, I have like here, because we just moved to the house, and I have like my certifications here, and my husband, he was like, let's put it on the wall. I was like, who cares, right? People care about the results. So writing down who you're helping and how. Like, when you look at my bio, you understand who I am. I'm an abundance activator, but I help women to align with their inner vision so they can become magnetic in personal and professional life. Becoming magnetic, meaning becoming abundant. You look in my bio, and it's not about all the things that I've achieved and accomplished. It's all about you. It's about how I'm going to help you. So put in your bio, again, when people come, you're not Kardashian or, I don't know, Beyonce. Sorry, but people don't care. It's when people come to your account, they're like, what's in it in for me? And you have to choose, like, again, how do you want them to feel? Your account can be educational, it can be inspirational, it can be funny. Like, their accounts, they're funny. Like, I'm following accounts, they're just funny. Like, it's just like, how will the people feel? So you have your bio, you have your picture, you have your grid made with your brand, like branding colors. And I have an amazing branding designer if anyone needs help, and she's like amazing price, because I'm a great negotiator. And then when you have that, like showing up on your stories, I show up on my stories like almost every day. And if I don't show up, I have my assistant who is posting, because your stories, like, sometimes I look at people's accounts, and if they don't have anything in their stories, I think they're inactive. I don't know if they were inactive for a day or if they were inactive for a month. I take Saturday off for digital detox. I'm not around any technology. So my clients know, but every other day I am there. So people gotta feel like really connected. So I feel like those are like the basics just to build your account, because you cannot go reach out and get your followers if you don't have this in place, because people will come look at your account, feel confused, feel overwhelmed, and leave, and you lost. So after you have all this built, you have your bio, you have your picture that it's like expression of you, right? And really seeing you clearly, having the pictures, having the branding, then you can go out and reach out to people, connect with the similar accounts. Who would your ideal client would be following? Would she be following Gabby Bernstein, or would she be following Manifestation Babe, or would she be following I don't know, like just create a list of people that she would be following and be active there. Like look at the comments, look at the followers, be active there, comment, give to the community, comment to other people. If you see someone who you really resonate with, go and go on their account, look at some pictures and be honest about it. I'm not going to, like, for example, I'm vegan, I'm not going to be liking somebody's who is have a huge steak first picture, right? Not to be like, it's not for me, you know what I mean? I'm not hypocrite. So
I'm vegan too, so I understand.
so it's just like, no, it doesn't resonate with me, and I can't. And it's so funny because we are building like a new experience for the next year. I had last year Soulful Success Experience. We are doing it again next year. It's 7 days when I have a speakers, and my assistant was like researching speakers that I can have. And there were some who were like promoting fasting and carnivore. I'm like, no, I can't even speak to those people. I mean, I respect them. You do whatever you want to do. You have your beliefs, but you're not coming to my audience. If I'm saying living a non-toxic life and being vegan and drinking juices, and I just can't, so it's a different style. So look at those people, and if they really resonate, like their pictures, comment, reply to the stories, because when you reply to the stories, you're directly in their DMs, and be honest about it. Like I remember, like I was like tanning and just browsing through my Instagram, and I was looking at some hashtag, because you can look at the accounts or you can look at the hashtags that your ideal client would be like following or using. And I looked at, I think it was like past traumas healing or something like that. So I was just looking what people are posting. That there was a girl who was like had a picture of her meditating, so I just commented. I'm like, I really admire you that you are doing meditation in the middle of the day, because I just love doing it in the morning or at night, because in the middle of the day I maybe do breath work, like just some breath, but sit in a meditation that can be sometimes challenging. And she's like, oh, that's really awesome. What kind of meditation you're doing? We start talking, we jump on a call in 2 days, and she signed up for 3 months package with me, like my high ticket package, 2 days. And I was just really genuine. It's not like I'm connecting with you because I want you to hire me. That's my intention. It's always to serve and impact people. And I want to work with women who want to be helping others, who are here to shift the balance of the earth, but you get to have this intention and be energetically connected to your business. Because Karolina, one challenge that I find in my business, and you can be experiencing it too, when you energetically completely disconnect because you want to be on the beach and you don't care, and you don't want to be on social media, you don't want to look at your computer because it's making you tired. That's me. You disconnect energetically, and then the universe, it's like, okay, Petia needs a rest, Karolina needs a rest, let's not give her new clients, so you get to be energetically connected to your business. It's up to you if you connect every day a little bit on Instagram because you're replying to DMs, or if you have a team. So Karolina, like you said, like you wanted to learn these tech stuff. Why? Do you love it? Do you love doing tech stuff and strategies?
Not really. That's why I have
so why
an
would you do
assistant
that?
to help
No.
me. That's why I have my assistant to post stuff, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just sending voice messages, what I want to be, when I want to have included, because this is, I love talking. So I don't even like writing. So I'm just gonna, send her a voice message. I'm just gonna record a few like beautiful views or myself just talking, but then she's the artist. She's the one doing the design and doing all these things, just knowing me and knowing my vibe, because we've been working together for quite a long time. But I'm not really doing the things that I don't want to do, like at all, pretty much, because I just can't. Like honestly, I just have I just feel in my body like this is not what you're supposed to do. I tried to do a Facebook ads course. After like 1 hour, I was like, no, it's just not for me. I'm just not gonna do that. But you know, as you said, like if you fit it to your lifestyle, and my lifestyle is just going to all these amazing places, and I'm just recording myself speaking in all these beautiful beaches or at the waterfalls, or just, you know, I feel like I just really am genuine in what I'm saying. But I feel like it's just so it's not that easy to be standing out on social media, because now there's just so much in there, right?
And
So
is that true, Karolina? If you believe that it's hard to stand out, that's your belief. For me, I know that the perfect people are attracted to me easily and effortlessly. For me, my ideal clients are coming to me easily and effortlessly. That's my belief, and that's why it's worked for me, you know? So if you think it's hard to stand out, it will be. It's not true. There will be millions of people, but your people need you. Like my clients are activated by my codes, by my voice. Like they connect with me on such a deep level that nobody else can do that. And it doesn't mean that I'm like so unique and Petia is the guru, but it means that my people are attracted to me. So they won't care about anyone else. I had a client who wanted to work with another coach. That coach interviewed me in her podcast, and she hired me instead because she said, like, I heard you, and I like instantly connected. Like there is a resonance. And I'm doing like a new series on my podcast called Client Celebrations, and it's only like 10-15 minutes, like interviews, but when you tune into those, you will understand that many of them, they say, I felt instantly connected. There was a resonance, like right away. Like your people energetically resonate with you. That's why I say you get to stay plugged in energetically, even though like I don't love technology, and I am so grateful for how it brings me closer to the people and how I can serve people on a deeper level. So if you believe it's hard to stand out, well, that's your truth, not my, Karolina. So if you can shift the beliefs that it's easy to attract your people, and listen, you don't even freaking need social media. I have some clients who like love doing everything in person. You can go on this ecstatic dance and get a one-on-one client every single time, Karolina. That's my belief, and that's my truth. Every single time I go to a live event, I receive clients. That's why I love investing in live events. Whether it's workshop, retreats, I always either learn something that will upgrade me and my business, or I get clients. Every single time I go to workshops, I get clients. Last time, when I was doing breathwork certification with my mentor in Utah, I got 4 clients, 4 high-paying clients. So I'm like, hey, what else can I pay you for? Because, I give him like $3,000 and I get multiple 5 figures. I'm like, what else can I invest in? So you got to shift your beliefs, like go to ecstatic dance, go to beach. Like I found, like, I connected with my ideal client in a Whole Foods, in a grocery store. It's like higher end grocery store. So I give my clients everywhere and anywhere when I'm open to receive it. So check in with your beliefs, because if you think that it's hard to connect with people online, that it's hard to find a client, how many clients do you really want? How many clients you can really take? You're already impacting people through your podcast, through your stories, and one-on-one clients, or even if like I help my clients to build like programs, certifications programs, because then they make, my client who did her first launch, she just made 30K. And she used to do like $1,000 a month, so, and she did this in one first launch. So I teach my clients how to do it easily and effortlessly. Is it scary? Heck yes. It was super scary for me to invest in my mentor. Listen, Karolina, I didn't have money for my first mentor. I had to grab the money that I had for my rent, pay her. And then I'm like, well, universe, we have 5 days before we pay rent. Good luck figuring it out. And I did. And I got a client and I was able to pay. And sometimes we're like, oh, I don't have the time. I don't have the money. Right now, it's too many things on my plate. That's a BS. Look 1 year from now, where could you be if you start now? If you start today, if something is calling you, if this interview is moving you, you gotta move and really connect with the people. Like you said, there is so much BS online. I know, I paid for a lot of that BS to see what's not working. I tested it myself. I work with the mentors who I felt unseen and unfulfilled. I know, that's why I became an amazing mentor that I am, who is nurturing, loving, present. loving to my clients in such a way that they're feeling safe to express themselves, safe to be charging what they're charging and grow. So if this is moving you, you have to move. Everything is happening so much faster and we feel it energetically. We're more tired, we are more restless, like we know things are happening, on a different levels. We get to move with that. So Karolina, if you don't want to do certain things, hire people. I teach my clients how to delegate, how to hire people. I have the people that I tried myself who are loyal, loving, amazing, and I negotiate amazing prices. So when women come to work with me, I help them to clear out, because sometimes they're like, oh, I have so many things on my plate. I was like, yeah, that's why you work with me. So we clear out your plate and you have a space to do really things you want to do, like doing meditation, go on a static dance, being on the beach, still knowing you're creating an immense impact and having a team of people helping you do that. So you got to delegate and stay in the money-making activities and stay in your flow and in your gifts.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing all that. And yeah, it really resonated with me when you said that you gotta stay connected, because I feel like that's where these internal parts of me kind of like disconnect, because the part of me that just wants to be on the beach doesn't even want to think about business, like I'm just on the beach, I'm just enjoying my life. But now that you're talking about it, I can be going on the beach and like be in my flow and be in my relaxation vibes and so on, but still holding in mind, maybe I'm going to meet a new client on the beach, and maybe on the beach I can take my phone for 5 minutes and check if there are any messages on my Instagram, or maybe I can just, on the beach, it's a very present environment, maybe I can spend half an hour on my Instagram just connecting to people.
Yes.
Because like to me, as you mentioned before, like it's still a little bit of a struggle, because yeah, I don't like looking at the screens that much, I don't like being on my phone that much, I'd rather be in the jungle or the waterfall and on the beach. But like, if, as you said, like if you want to actually put your energy, you need to be all invested in it. So I need to kind of convince this part of me that just wants to be cut off from everything, that we stay connected, and we just even energetically don't just fully let it all go, because that's what I feel like this part of me was doing. Just okay, it's me time, or it's entertainment time, it's pleasure time, so it's not a business time now. But it can be both, right?
It can be both, but also like, don't convince yourself doing something that you really don't want to be doing, right? Like, create it in a way that it's good for you. So for example, like I said, I lay on the beach and I have 1 hour that I will be sending voice messages, or I will record several stories, because I can batch a content, because my clients want to see the beach, right? So what is that you can do, and then you can completely disconnect, but create an environment that feels good to you. So I love laying on a sun and tanning and messaging people, because I'm in a higher state of vibration. I'm more receptive. I'm warmer. Like, logically, I'm warmer. So I connect with the beautiful people. So you can still do things. And I have a days that there is no technology. Like, I don't work on the weekends. My clients, they know it. They respect me for it. They are inspired by it. So you create your own boundaries, So it's not about convincing yourself, Karolina. It's about creating it in a way that works for you and making it in a fun way. So I love, like, sometimes I don't feel like, for example, it's almost end of the year. We get to think about taxes. And I didn't send like my statement to my bookkeeper, and I'm like, I was postponing it for such a long time. So yesterday I made myself tea. I brought some snacks. I sit in my beautiful new big bed, took my computer, play some music, drinking on my tea. And I had it done within like an hour and a half. And like, the energy that you are leaking of thinking about things, it's worse than actually sitting on your booty, do the thing, and you're done. I'm so happy I'm done for the year, in an hour and a half, but I was thinking about it for weeks.
Yeah, and that's what also the last question that I want to ask you, because our time is almost up. This balance between like feminine approach, being receptive and being like open and relaxing and so on, versus getting shit done, right? Because that's where people, I feel like women especially struggle, because we want to be feminine, we want to be in our feminine energy and just attracting and manifesting and working on our beliefs and just waiting there for the universe to bring things to us. But we also need to do things. We need to take action. and we need both of the perspectives. So what would you say, like, how to find this harmony between these both parts of us, and like how did you find it on your journey? And was it at the beginning that maybe you needed to take more action and more masculine approach because you didn't have the team at the beginning, so you had to do more? Or was it from the beginning like, okay, I know myself, I know my alignment, so things were just flowing so much that you didn't have to be, for example, too much in like your masculine energy if you didn't want to?
So it's really interesting. For me, it was the other way around. I was so much in my masculine because the way I grown up, I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel protected. So I was the protector. I was the provider. I was the one who worked really, really, really hard. And I pay for everyone. All my friends, I was buying them like very exclusive gifts, and I paid the mortgages for my ex-boyfriend and like all these things, you know? So for me, I was always more in my masculine. So to create the abundance, I had to tune into my feminine, into receptive, into slowing down, into being more in nature, into reconnecting to my body. Because, you know, after 2 decades of eating disorder, bulimia, that I, you know, struggle with, I was disconnected from my body. I hated my body, you know. So for me, it was reconnecting to my feminine and then learning how to balance them all, because I went from like masculine into fully feminine. I didn't want to do anything. I disconnected, you know, like completely just taking care of me and just like flowing, whatever, you know, this chaotic energy. And then I just learned that it's a dance. It's a dance with the masculine and the feminine. So what I learned in my business, there is a time to go and there is the time to flow. And you get to know when is what. So like when we're planning the year ahead, when we're planning strategies, like, listen, I will sit through some meetings that I don't want to sit with, right? I will do these things because there is a bigger picture. It's the right thing to do, even if it doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? There's a difference. I don't like brushing my teeth, but it's the right thing to do. So I will do it, right? I don't like going to the gym and driving there and working out and sweating and lifting heavy, but I will do it because it's the right thing to do, because I want to be toned. I want to be healthy. I want to be strong. I want to be vital, right? I don't like, I do love cooking, but sometimes you're like, I just want to eat and I don't want to cook. I'm too tired. I will cook at home because then I know what I'm putting in there and it's delicious versus, and of course, I eat out sometimes, but if I could, I would eat out every day, right? But it's not the best, and in my eyes, good. So you get to ask yourself, what is the right thing to do, and what is in my eyes good? What is the one thing that will make the biggest difference? I really love the book from Jay Papasan. It's The One Thing. And it's really helping you to break it all down from the big vision into what can I do now? What can I do now? What can I do that will make the, like, move the needle so it makes everything else unnecessary, right? So, you know, like, there will be things you don't want to do, you know, and you will do them because they're right things to do. Like when I was hiring my assistant, we got to train her. I don't like training people. Thank God my husband does it, right? But I had to be on some meetings too, and I had to submit papers, and I have to tell her who is my ideal client. I don't love doing that. It's the right thing to do, because is it going to help me in a bigger picture? If it's going to help me in a bigger picture, I will do it now so I don't have to do it later. Does it help?
Yes, a lot. Thank you so much. So the last tiny mini question is, where could people find all your content and your courses and everything if they really resonate with you? What's the best way to find you?
I feel like the best way, it's really Instagram. You know, that's where I am, Petia Kolibova. And I know Karolina will put it in the show notes. Nobody can pronounce it. My website is the same, petiakolibova.com. And my podcast, it's Unapologetically Abundant. So those are like my favorite places where I hang out.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Petia, for all that you shared today. I feel like it brought massive value to my life. So I'm sure to all our listeners, it also brought massive amounts of value. So I'm sending you so much love and gratitude from Costa Rica for everything that you brought for us.
Thank you.